recording. All right. Thank you so much, Infi, for Infi or Infi?
Invi.
Invi.
Either really works. I really don't mind that much.
All right. Well, thank you so much for agreeing to open for i.W.A.I.T.
Yeah, no, of course, no problem. It's really fun.
Thank you.
Enjoyed being here.
Awesome. We'll excuse Tafelpoot for not being here at the interview because he's got to go to work. The work decided to say you got to be in the work an hour early. So,
Yeah, he's making that paper though.
yes, making the monies.
He's out there making the money.
Here's hoping. If not, well, fuck. What do you go to work for?
Well, yeah, maybe he should get a new job then.
yes. So,
about money.
So, as I'm kind of out of practice because I haven't had i.W.A.I.T for like 2 weeks now.
No, you're totally good. You're good.
Yep. So, how long have you been DJing for?
It's been about a year now, just over a year. Started out just as a joke, you know. I was funny thing. I wasn't actually gonna DJ. Like I saw it and I made jokes about it because people look cool DJing, you know. Then they invited me up to that booth, you know. That school dance was something else. Yeah, got to mess around with those turntables, and I found out, you know what? Maybe it's pretty fun. Yeah, I got into DJing. It's pretty funny. It's only been a year, and I'm already this deep into the everything. Planned out cons. I've gotten so much done. It's great seeing the improvement, of course, from when I only used EQs. I wasn't even good at that. Like, I didn't know how to match the highs and lows, you know. It took a bit of adjustment to get to that point. But, you know, eventually I figured it out. I've also tried using a bunch of effects here and there. But then I was like, you know what, this is too complicated. So we're back to the roots now, and I'm back in EQ mixing and backspins, all the old school stuff.
There's nothing wrong with the EQ mixing. That's kind of what I usually do is just let's cut out the bass of the new track until I'm ready to switch and switch them over.
Yeah, of course. With house, it's pretty simple. It's really one of the easiest genres to mix, and you know what? It's one of the best sounding ones in my opinion. But then again, I am I'm not biased at all.
Four on the floor.
Why would you think that? There's absolutely no bias. Yeah, it's dependable. The beat's always there. It's always something that you can count on to be the same, danceable, groovy bass lines, all that stuff. That's what I live for.
So you said you've been DJing for like about a year now?
About a year, a little bit over a year.
Nice. You've
It's been a great ride.
Good. So you've been DJing for about as long as I have. I started in June 19th of last year.
Wow, makes sense. So yeah, this is actually my first time I've DJ'd in VR, and well, it was pre-recorded. I don't know if I can call that DJing, but yeah. It still got the manipulation on there, so...
Yeah, you still put forth the effort to record the set. You still planned out the set and made sure that, you know, it was out there to be played. So, yes,
yeah,
that is definitely DJing.
Yep.
So,
you got anything?
What ended up getting you into DJing? You said something about a school dance?
Oh, yeah. So, at the dance, like, I was actually, like, right up on the DJ booth, and the DJ, I didn't know that because, you know, the speakers are right in front of my face and I can barely hear myself. But the thing is, DJ heard everything I was saying because, you know, I was kind of a little child and didn't know very well. Yeah. I generally watch what I say nowadays. Unless it's like I'm tired or something, but you know, like that's an exception. But yeah, DJ was like, oh, you know what? I don't think that you'll find DJing so boring after you see what's up here. So he invited me on there. Of course, you know, I gotta go up there. I mean, there's a couple hundred people watching me, right? Yeah. I just gotta go up there, play whatever, you know, take a look at it. Nice. And then a couple years later was really where I started realizing, you know what? It's not so bad. I should go up there and give it a shot. So I got myself a controller, and you know, here we are. Whole year after I got that controller, and you know, we're great.
What I always ask the DJs like what they start off with. So this is basically going to be your starting controller. What
Hmm.
controller are you currently using?
It's actually the same controller I started with. The FLX6 actually works
Ooh,
wonders for me.
nice. Four tracks mixing.
Hmm. It's got it's got enough. It's got just enough features for me. Although the effects are a bit odd in that you have to press buttons just to reach it instead of like a knob. That's the only sort of criticism I have for the controller, but otherwise it's a pretty well-rounded controller for its price. It's got the full-size CD wheels, which is
Mhm.
really why I got it, because with the full size it's much better. I've
Yep.
also considered doing vinyls, but that's kind of a nightmare actually. It's yeah, no, especially with VR mixing, there's not really a chance to be good at it.
No.
Especially that I probably will end up scratching all my records to high heaven.
Also, you got to
So
factor
yeah,
in.
CDJ works.
Yeah, also got to factor in the weight of like all the vinyls you got to bring into your set as well.
That is true as well. Yeah, except for me, the mixing process with vinyls, honestly, I'd have to do full length mixes. There's no way that I can just pump
Nope.
them out song after song in 1 minute after another. Oh, my arms would probably be dead after
Yeah.
that. Maybe
Oof.
even my fingers, you know. Gotta
And
lift the stylus, you gotta move it places. Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So you only really mix full length songs with that.
Yeah. But that's not too bad. Also, some people still use pseudo vinyls where they basically have the vinyl, but the vinyl is written a time code sound that it you
Hmm.
can actually tell like Serato to like here's what the BPM and you just adjust the BPM on your platters to match whatever
Hmm.
on play it. So
Yeah. Then there is buying two turntables,
true.
which yeah, no, that's a bit expensive. Plus the mixer as well. Oh boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
It's like it's $1,000, $2,000. I can't do.
Nope. Nope. And like you don't have to be spend a lot of money to detail like the FL6. If I looked at it, it's like what
Of
five
course,
hundred dollar, right?
500ish. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very good valued.
Yep. I got myself
Has
a
everything a beginner DJ needs.
yep. Yeah, and if you don't have, I say like if you don't have the $500 want to spend, DDJ 400. You can't go wrong. That's what I currently use myself.
Yeah, DDJ. Yeah, that's what you use at the start. Except I did have prior experience in.
Yep. I think we may have lost our guest. Yep. Let's see if they come back. I wish I had a Jeopardy theme set up. All right, there goes the full disconnect, and we'll give them some time to get back. And if they don't get back, then we will call the interview early. Sending them a message through Discord. Doo-doo-doo. We are going to stop the recording. Actually, no, I can cut it out later. And they're back.
Well, that was not scripted.
Nope.
I swear Yeah, no, that happened near the start of all this as well. It was a bit of a pain. Oh, we're back. So, anyways, what were we talking about?
DDJ 400.
FLX 6. Yeah,
Yep.
we got that one. Yeah, that's the starting controller for most people, I believe. It's well rounded. It's great. It's great for any beginner DJs that might be out there looking to start. I highly recommend you start with that, especially if you don't have the funds, as Warren said before. But as you're improving and honing in your skills, something to consider would definitely be what's a feature already on the FLX6, which is a 4-deck mix. And I've seen that being done actually really, really well. But I haven't really had the time or patience to learn it. I mean, I really don't need it, honestly. Like, I don't need four drum loops playing at the same time, knowing it's house and all that. 4 bass lines kind of just takes away from the groove, you know?
Yeah.
When you're mixing house, of course, the groove is king. And that leads me into another point where you have to know the genre which you're playing. For house, it's actually pretty easy, you know? Fade it in at the beginning, get it at the end, you know, that's a really great place to start. And once you start getting into actual like mixing with EQs and stuff, you can start mixing in random points. Well, not random points, but you can start it at the beginning of a breakdown. That also works as well. You know, just some helpful tips for any starting DJs. Yeah, of course.
Now, like, what advice would you give to like a brand new DJ, a person like who's just starting off, like who may look into potentially buying a deck or at least have the deck and getting started? What would you suggest? Beyond
the advice that I just gave, like, I guess moving in with the audience itself, because you have to remember that you are a DJ and you are expected to rally up a crowd. Unless you're playing at like a bar or something, like everyone's drinking and talking around. Like VR chats, it's pretty similar to that. Honestly, you have people just hanging around, chilling, and talking amongst themselves. Instead of like when you're actually at like a festival or something where people are looking at you and counting on you to make that music and their experience. You have to remember, and I believe one of these YouTubers, DJ Carlo Attendido, he makes a really good point. The point why you're hired to do sets in the first place is because you're trying to make a crowd happy. You want to appeal to the crowd, and it's not all about the music. You can play dumb music, like, not that exists, honestly. Like music is pretty subjective, but you get the point. If you're playing music that no one really likes, then that's where the issue is. But if you're just playing some average songs, you can easily turn what might be an average club party where no one really focuses on the music itself into an actual, like, a performance, basically. Like, if you're on stage just sitting there watching TV, no one's gonna find that interesting. And the same goes for if you're just staring straight down at the DJ controller 100% of the time. Like, people don't watch you DJ just because they want to see your hands moving and all that. They're not inspecting you to make sure every single move is the way that they want to see you mix things. What they are there is for the music. And even if you mess up, contrary to what you might think, the audience typically doesn't realize it. Like, no one realizes it unless you like completely stop a song, or if it suddenly starts, like, if you leave an effect on, for example. Like, one time I had the Bit Crush effect on, and when I played in the next song, I didn't realize it, and it kind of just. It sounded garbage. It sounded absolutely garbage. But, I laughed it off, it was all good. And in the end, it all works out. If you can communicate with the audience, establish that you are a DJ that actually cares about your audience, has fun with what they're doing, and makes it seem like you're passionate, then chances are that audience will like you, and you'll get hired again and again and again. So, just overall, just have fun with what you're doing. Honestly, like, enjoy the music, enjoy the crowd, talk with the crowd, engage. That's all I can really say for that. Even if you have social anxiety, like, You'll eventually get over it. I had myself quite a lot of anxiety, and I wouldn't talk to anyone. But some people get behind you in the DJ booth, and they start chatting it up real nice and smooth. And you meet all of your friends when you're DJing, pretty much just that way. It's great.
Nice. So here's a question that I always ask the DJs. It's kind of fun to get their responses. If you could send the message back in time, regarding DJing, what message would you send back?
Oh, that's a good question. I guess involving who? Like who would you be sending this to?
Yourself.
Oh, to me, myself. Oh. That's actually quite tough, because if I did send it back to myself, it'd probably just be about the same garble I just said. Like, I used to think that mixing music itself was kind of just boring. Like, it's just music. Why put so much effort into it? But, all I can really say about that is just that if I had to go back a few years, back before I started DJing, first of all, I'd be talking to a kid who barely even knew what DJing is. But, there's really only one thing I can really associate myself with music-wise back then, and that was Geometry Dash. I used to listen to a lot of dubstep, a lot of the old, everyone likes those genres of EDM. And, I've changed quite a lot. My music tastes have greatly diverged from that. I don't really play Geometry Dash anymore, but, some of those tracks still hit really hard for me, and, I think that there's always going to be songs in a genre that one person is attracted to, even if they might only listen to one other genre, like I do. For me, it's house, and I think I've actually made that quite clear.
Yeah.
It's all about house for me. I love bassline so much.
House and house accessories.
Yeah. House and house accessories, exactly. But telling myself that, I don't actually know how I'd put that across. I wouldn't actually be able to tell myself how much I liked house back then. One thing I would be able to tell them is, or tell myself rather, is just continue enjoying music and all that. I used to play the piano, and I had to quit that, unfortunately, because of school, but it got me into more easy, freeform sorts of... It got me into electronic music and producing it specifically. And, that kickstarted my entire music interests right now. I never would have gotten anywhere without piano, so, I guess the one message I'd say is just to not stop doing music,
Yep.
I'd tell myself that, piano, learning how to play the piano, really... I've been told that when I'm playing the piano, I have really good feeling, really good feeling about it. And, listening to myself back then, yeah, I would actually agree with that. I'm very, very expressive. I have a lot of emotion when it comes to music, and I figure just reminding myself that to reinforce the idea is probably the most important part of that.
Awesome. Well, it's definitely a good response.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of DJs I get back to this, just keep doing what you're doing, or, you're doing fine, stuff like that. So you kind of fell into the same category as they do. Any last things you want to relay to the world at large?
Well, the large broad. I guess to cover a broad audience, I'd need a broad topic, and that comes to music itself. And a big question I get asked is why I like house so much. Because I have friends who are into way different styles of music. For example, I've got half of my friends really enjoy breakcore and high tempo, high energy, like 200 BPM and up. And then I've got other friends who like 60 to 80. Like some artists I can name off the top of my head. Vansire, definitely. I do actually really enjoy their music. Some of their music. It's chill. Is all I can say about it. And shout out to my friend Ash over. I don't know. Maybe you're watching this by spare chance, but they're pretty popular on Twitter. You might actually have heard of them. Grey Dragon. So yeah, Ash. Big shout out to you. Vansire. Just Thank you for introducing me to that. Like I from time to time I actually listen to them. It's emotional. Gets me down to chill.
Nice,
Gets you
nice.
thinking. Slower music gets you thinking. And then on the other side of that, there's, as I mentioned, breakcore, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm honestly not the biggest fan of such high tempo music, but you know, some of those songs actually are really really nice. Like some of them have a really nice groove to them. Some of them have bass lines which are fast, but you know they get the point across. Some of them are sampled really really well, and they're looped. I really really like loops. Being a house enjoyer,
Mm-hmm.
but in general,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm trying to say is that you really shouldn't say much about a genre before you actually listen to the songs, because I can't say that I hate genres. It would be absolutely cruel to just completely ignore the fact that there's songs in those genres that I would absolutely love to listen to. It might not be the best to mix into house, but a suggestion I can make based on that is just go around. Honestly, just explore new music, explore your tastes, explore. Just go around, go around YouTube, go around SoundCloud, Spotify, Twitch. Go to go to clubs. Sometimes you'll find the best music you'll find are actually in the places where DJs go in order to make those songs pop out. And you know, it's a really great place to start. If you're just getting into all this music, definitely be sure to explore. And if you're if you're already into music, and perhaps you even go to these VR chat nights, maybe even go to these VR clubs, real clubs even, talk with the DJs. That's another thing. The DJs at these clubs know how to make you dance. If you go to a club and you like their music, it's all thanks to the DJs. And that's actually a little sneak peek at a song I'm looking to mix in later on. I've got a list about 600, 650 songs.
Nice.
That'll last me at least 5 years, I'd say.
Nice, nice.
But yeah,
Well,
that's about all I have.
awesome. Well, thank you so
Is
much.
there anything else you want?
Nope, that'll be all. Thank you so much for coming. I'm going to.
All right.
So announcing for next week, i.W.A.I.T, the DJs for the lineup are going to be myself. We're going to have DJ Spine Shatter and DJ Fizzwolf. So it is going to be a high energy, high BPM evening.
All right. Well, I'll be sure to check my schedule and see if I can make some time for that. I love enjoying. I love meeting new people. You know.
Yep.
I have a feeling I'll be around here for more of these nights.
Yeah.
Longer
hopefully.
and longer.
Yep.
Longer times. It's been about 4 hours now, actually.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
trackers are running low. Energy's unfortunately also running low.
Yep.
So for me to probably chill out now.
Yeah, with that, it's getting pretty late for both of us. So have a wonderful evening, all you, whenever you watch this. Have a wonderful evening, day, morning, whatever. Until next time.
And big props to Warren for hosting this night.
Yes.
You know, big thanks for him to hosting this.
Thank you.
I had a lot of fun tonight, and it was really, really fun.
Yep. And then
do turn up. I would love to meet you guys.
Yep. And where can they find you on socials?
Oh, yeah. I don't really plug myself on social media much. I barely put any focus into that. But if you're interested in following me on Twitter or, basically just Twitter, just...
You have a Mixcloud?
You're free to follow me, yeah. I do have a Mixcloud. It should be the same username all around. Alephine, same as my VR chat name as well. ALEFEINFI. And the A and I are capitalized. So yeah, that's about it, honestly.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
all right. Well, again, for like the 5th time, yeah.
Yes, you're very
Thanks
welcome.
for having me here.
Thanks for agreeing to join in on this madness.
Yep.
Well, good night, and good night all.
So good night to everyone out there.